Okay, I'll just run through these answers with you. Which metric measure of length would you use for the following? Length of a pencil, centimetres. The distance from Dublin to Cork, kilometres, not miles, because that would be imperial. I'll do it in red so you can see it a bit easier. The width of a drill bit, millimetres. The width of a football pitch, metres. Height of a windmill, metres. Circumference of an adult's head, centimetres. Now, metric. So that's the key word, metric. So apple, grams. Baby, kilograms. Mass of an elephant, tons. Mass of a digger, tons. Mass of a bag of crisps, grams. Mass of a paracetamol tablet is really, really small, probably milligrams. Metric as well. So whenever you're talking about capacity, it's litres, millilitres, or centilitres, not pints or anything like that. That's your three choices: millimetres, centilitres, or litres. So can of Coke, centilitres or millilitres. Electric kettle, litres. Oil tank, litres. Bath, litres. If a syringe is very small, millilitres. A baby's bottle, either millilitres or centilitres. Okay, change each of these. 300. I'll not put the units in the end just to speed it up. So it's 300, 6,000, 75, 9, 4, 8, 2, 0, 0, 3.5, 1.2, 0.6, 24, 7.4, 6070, 0.7. So just watch, it's starting to get a wee bit harder here. So think of what you're doing, dividing by 10. This one here, you're going from metres to millimetres. So if you look at your diagram, metres to millimetres, times by 100 times by 10, which is the same as timesing by 1,000. So it's 4080. Centimetres to millimetres, times by 10, 23.8. Millimetres to metres, millimetres the whole way up to metres. Divide by 10 and divide by 100. So if I divide by 10, I get 77. Divide by 100, 0.77. Kilometres to centimetres. So look at the diagram, kilometres to centimetres. Times by 1,000, times by 100. Times it by 1,000, you get this. Times it by 100, put another 2 on. Centimetres to kilometres. Divide by 100, divide by 1,000. So dividing by 100, take 2 noughts off. Divide by 1,000, there's 1, 2 noughts, another 1 to go. So move your decimal point back. Metres to millimetres, metres to millimetres. Times by 100, times by 10. So timesing it by 100 and times by 10. So diagrams are helpful. Whenever the numbers, they do get a bit more awkward, it definitely is helpful. So number 5, I can sort of scroll this up so you can see the weight there at the same time, and we'll see how we get on. So kilograms to grams, 5,000, 4,000. These start off not too bad. 7, 4, 2900, 0.4. So let's just look at this one. Grams to milligrams. So grams going back to milligrams is a times by 1,000. 5.9. So 0.608. Milligrams to grams, divide by 1,000. So take this, divide by 1,000, decimal point at the end, move back 3. So it's 3.935. 0.57. Kilograms to grams, if you look at your diagram, times by 1,000. So do use your diagram to look at it, just to check you're doing it right. Tons to kilos is times by 1,000. Grams to kilo, divide by 1,000. That's 300 and 0.325. Grams to kilos. Just check every now and again you're doing it right. So divide by 1,000. 0.06. Kilograms to milligrams. So times by 1,000 and times by another 1,000. Times by 1,000, I get 300, then another 1,000. Tons to grams, quite a lot here. Times by 1,000 and times by 1,000 again. Times by 1,000 the first time, you get this, and times by another 1,000. Milligrams to kilograms. So divide by 1,000 and divide by 1,000 again, goodness. So divide by 1,000, you get 0.065, and divide by another 1,000. So it's 0.000. Just check this and run out of knots now. 123. So it's 0.1234 knots. 1, 2, 3, 4 knots. Okay, that's that we one done. And number 6, capacity. So 6 litres, just run through this. 6,000, 2900, 8, 4300, 7.2, 10 with 3 knots. 1.1, 300, 1300, 2430, 0.904, 0.055, 12800, 321000, 0.015, 0.080, 7.63, sorry, I just explain this one. Litres to millilitres. So litres to millilitres. You're going to times by 1,000. So it's 35 times 1,000. So it's 35, 1, 2, 3 knots. Litres to millilitres. So litres to millilitres is times by 1,000. So 1, 2, 3, 72.5. And that, millilitres to litres divide by 1,000, 0.002. Okay, number 7. Piece of wood is that, another piece of that. What's the total length? All you're doing is making the units the same. Make them both into metres, then add them up. And that's a 7. So adding them up, it's 2.39. And this one here, how many lengths of tape, each 8 centimetres long, can be cut from this? Put them into centimetres, so that's 120 divided by 8. 8 into 12 goes once, 3 into 4, 8 into 40 goes 5 times. So your answer is 15.